Evacuate to Khan Younis, they said. And then they bombed Khan Younis within 24 hours. Like, imagine these are bombs hitting tents, not buildings. At least 71 people have been killed and 289 wounded in an Israeli air attack on the Al Mawasi refugee camp west of Khan Younis. This number is expected to increase and will be updated. Gaza's civil defense has told Al Jazeera that the targeted area was designated by the Israeli forces as a so-called safe zone. Rescue workers and healthcare teams on the ground have been targeted by Israeli forces as they try to help the injured and collect the dead. This is called a double tap. As a reminder, this is what a double tap attack is. Israel claims the massacre was intended to kill one H group official. At the time of writing, this has not been verified, and H group states this is false. Israeli fighter jets targeted Al Mawasi with 5 bombs and 5 missiles. The emerging scenes at the camp are incredibly bloody and devastating. The victims include young children, men, women, and elderly people, showing a clear disregard for protecting innocent civilian lives. Kuwaiti Field Hospital, along with the Nasser Medical Facility, is overwhelmed with the wounded. People on the ground are panicked and terrified as this is where they were told to seek refuge. The area now filled with thousands of makeshift shelters. Occupational forces targeted rescue teams as soon as they arrived. After Israel directly targeted the displacement camp, rescue teams rushed to the scene to take as many of the injured to the nearest partially operating hospitals. As soon as they arrived, squadrons of quadcopter aircrafts began targeting ambulances and the vehicles of civil defense teams. When we arrived at the scene, the civil defense teams and the Ministry of Health were directly targeted. The rockets fell on civilians violently and indiscriminately. We tried to save them. The place is crowded with civilians, and the tents are full of displaced people, and this is supposed to be a safe place. The latest attack on the refugee tent camps in Al Mawasi follows previous Israeli bombings of the same safe zone in May and June, which killed over 46 Palestinians and injured 100 more. These death tolls do not include those who have subsequently succumbed to wounds sustained in the airstrikes. How many times can this happen? We all saw in late May when Israel targeted a tent camp in Rafah, burning people alive and children. But what many don't realize is that Israel bombed 3 tent camps that weekend. The media and Western governments selectively latch onto one massacre but willfully ignore the same exact actions happening elsewhere in the Strip. The West's decision to only verbally condemn these actions gives Israel the green light to continue bombing displaced families in their tents. If they had taken action, as we have all been asking them to do for months, Israel wouldn't be able to continue their war crimes and the extermination of the Palestinian people. Words of condemnation mean nothing.